Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my short stories from the new book I'm starting to work on now called Light, the companion volume to the book Dark that just got published today, and available on Amazon. It's free on Kindle, by the way, for just a day. So feel free to take advantage of that if you like. But anyway, this story is called Astronaut or Homemaker. When I was a little girl, I read a book about Krista McAuliffe, the female astronaut who died. I thought, I want to be an astronaut, I won't die. But unlike many kids with flights of fancy, I stayed with it, and it turned out to be not quite as hard as the book said. I joined the Air Force, got picked to fly jets, got my 1,000 pilot in command hours, then got the required STEM master's degree and NASA's week-long duration flight physical. I was surprised at what I found hardest. They test your hand and eye coordination after you've been in virtual space for a week. Everything felt so distorted. Then I had 2 interviews at the Johnson Space Center, questions I wouldn't have expected about my family, aerospace innovations I liked, and a time I had to keep a secret. Astronauts have to keep a lot confidential. Then there was a year of astronaut training, much in the weightless simulator. It's not as fun as they portray in the movies. Yeah, it's fun to float around, but you also, for example, have to move heavy objects. You might think that's easy, but because there's no friction, those objects can easily float away. One time, a heavy box did. I raced, as fast as you can when you're floating, but couldn't catch it, and it banged into the instrument panel. But as always, my instructors were forgiving. Fast forward, and I was in the cockpit of the spaceship Levitate on a mission to Mars. The first manned mission to Mars, just a flyby, was in 2033. When the Earth to Mars distance was minimum, requiring only a 570-day trip. My trip was longer, not just because of the increased distance, but because it was the first one to land on Mars. When I heard the famous 3, 2, 1, we have liftoff, and indeed we lifted off, I was nervous, exhilarated but nervous. I did think of Krista McAuliffe. And would you believe at 66,000 feet, we sprung a leak and started to lose altitude. But we were able to fix it. Nonetheless, I remained vigilant, nervous the entire flight. 640 days, including 5 on Mars collecting soil, mainly red dust, rock, air, and water samples, and then we went back without a hitch. Now I have a daughter and loved telling her my astronaut stories. Guess what she wants to do as a career? Be a homemaker. I would have preferred and been flattered if she wanted to be an astronaut, but to be honest, I can understand. In any event, that story is called Astronaut or Homemaker. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And I certainly would welcome you taking a look at either of my 2 books of short stories. My previous one called Soloists, short stories of introverts and outsiders facing a dilemma, or the one just published today called Dark. And the next book will be Light. These stories are pretty darn dark. In any event, I do welcome your watching and thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.